Alright, first of all, I want to apologize for any noise and the shaky camera. I'm doing this just on a phone, and I know I've already done this car before, but that video was split up into two. That wasn't really that great. But anyway, this is my 1988 Buick Reatta. If you don't know what a Buick Reatta was, it was a little two-door personal luxury coupe made by Buick and this is the first year of it. This was an 88. It's in pearl white, and sorry for it being a little dirty. I need to clean it. I just hadn't had time today. I barely have time to do this video. I'm doing it right before I go into work. But it's in pearl white with burgundy red interior, and they were a front-wheel drive V6. Well, I call it a sports car, but it's not really a sports car. It made around 180 horsepower and 210 foot-pounds of torque. And this car is not the best example of one. It's a really good example, but it's not the best example. There are ones better out there than this one. And these were a very, very high-tech car for the 80s. Like, incredibly high-tech. All digital everything. Had a touchscreen in it, actually. Here, look, I'll show you. These cars, and my dash does not work. We're fixing that. That's why, as you're about to see, the interior is pretty dirty. I just hadn't had time to pull it all the way apart and look at the wiring. And excuse me for the one hand. We'll go ahead and start up the car. You'll see that the screen does not work, like the dash doesn't. But the touch screen does. And yeah, you heard me right. This is a 1988 with a touch screen. Let's go. Touch screen. Oh, yeah, that's talking about the electrical. And it works really good. And like when you go to the climate, another one of the things, it has a bunch of cool little features in it, like on the climate, the fan will turn. That's just a little fun thing. Turn all your stuff. You can set it. You can go to options. It'll tell you how many. You go to trip monitor. It'll tell you how many what your range is, your average fuel economy, your miles you might be able to go. You can go to trip data. It'll tell you how much fuel you've consumed, the time elapsed, your average speed, your average fuel economy, and then you go to that. You can set the clock, all that. This car had sat for a little bit, so the clock's not right correctly. You've got your gauges. It's a very cool little car. Had a tape deck, and you see that about the glove box. There's no handle. That's because I don't know if you can see it all that great. Glove box right there. You press that little button and it pops open. So hopefully that button never breaks. And it's got little 2 bucket seats with tiny little cubbies in it. Tiny little cubbies back here. Got 2 of them. And a ski hatch with a fairly sizable trunk. This particular car also has a sunroof, although I'm not going to operate it because it was leaking and we had to jury rig a seal in there. Go ahead and pop that trunk, which it does have a trunk release. Go ahead and turn the car off. It's just a little stock V6. There ain't no need to rev it or anything. I'll show you what the trunk is. And as you can see, for a little hatchback car, it has a bunch of space in it. Still got the original spare tire with it and all the stuff under there, and jack. And the trunk's in pretty good shape back here with a pass-through, a ski latch. And again, sorry for the car being so dirty. I hadn't really had time to clean it. And yeah, the interior's got a little, is a little dirty. And these seats right here, these seats kind of remind me of Porsche seats, if you're honest. If I'm honest. And the door card is falling out a little. It does say reatta right there on the door seal. And let me show you up underneath the hood. Sorry, most of this video is going to probably be shaky. I'm doing this just with one hand. And the engine bay is really clean underneath this car. I'm pretty sure it has around 200 and something thousand miles on it, because we have a sales report for a AC from like last year. But as you can see, 200,000 miles. This thing's in amazing shape. I've replaced the alternator. It was going bad when I bought the car. And the AC did work, but there was a wire chewed, so we had to fix that. But other than that, that was a really good car. Or it is a really good car. The hood's a little messed up. It'd be fine for right now. I'll fix that later. And if you haven't already you could tell yet, it doesn't say Buick anywhere on this car, but on the rear light bar. Which is missing a couple letters. I still have the I, but the U fell off going down the road. But the U and I fell off going down the road, so right now it's just a buck. And these cars were back when they built them. It's all metal except for these two fenders, oddly. These fenders, plastic, but metal everything else. Don't know why they would decide to do that. Of course, it's got the pop-up headlights. Of course, it's got the pop-up headlights on it with the fog lights, and you could tell it has no grill. That's a lie. It has a grill right underneath it, right at the very bottom, with side indicators, but the side indicators don't work, and alloy wheels. What was I talking about? Before I started, I forgot to mention the production numbers of these cars. They only made about 27,000 Buick Reattas in total, all the way from 88 to 91. Complete production run. Don't know how many sunroofs they made. I know that's fairly uncommon for a sunroof. The only reason I bought it, because I really am not a big fan of sunroofs, is because I'm not going to find another Buick Reatta. They're hard to find. At least in where I could find them in a reasonable distance of me. And it just happened to be there, and it was a good price, and I needed another car. So I daily this thing. This is my daily car, and it's a good example for that. This is a good daily example. Because it's not in the worst shape, but it's also not in the best shape either. It's good. Just need to keep it clean and do maintenance on it. 0 to 60, when I was talking about all the production, was like 10 seconds. So it's a slug. It's not a fast car. If you expect this to be a fast car, you are going to be disappointed. That being said, you can make it a fast car. Pretty easily, in fact, because it uses the same engine as every other GM car with the V6, and you could pull the supercharger off of a Buick Regal GS and throw on the top of this thing, or a Buick Riviera and throw on the top of this thing, put bigger injectors in it and give it a tune with a new computer, and this thing would be quick. It'd probably make it around 320 horsepower. Just out of that, just basic tune, basic bolt-on parts. That's not even going up into the engine. So if you wanted it to be like an actual sports car, you could make it like that, because the suspension's pretty stiff, even though it is an auto-leveling air ride. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong about that. And they were very high-tech cars. I love this little car, even though it has its problems. And you could tell that GM's vision of the future was correct. And the styling's very retro on the inside, but I guess inside in 1980s it'd have been very modern and futuristic styling because it's got this metal, it's got this little plastic band that goes all the way around the car. And it is an automatic. It's a 4-speed automatic with overdrive. So it's just a little slush box transmission, but that's fine. This is not a sports car. I call it a sports car, but it's not. It's just a cool little personal luxury car. Cool luxury coupe. Which, it's kind of crazy to think Buick in '88 made this. This seems like something Cadillac would make. All the high-tech stuff and everything in it. You would think this would be you'd think the Alante would be the one that has the touchscreen and everything, but no, it was the Buick. The little Buick Reatta got all that. And nobody knows these cars. Nobody remembers these cars. And it's a shame, really. They're cool cars. But then again, I can't complain because if people did know about them, with its age and its rarity, it would be an expensive car, and I would not own one right now. But with that being said, if you like, I'm going to go ahead and end the video. And with that being said, if you like this video and you like this channel, please consider liking, subscribing, commenting, and sharing this video to anybody who you might think wants to watch it, might want to see something like this. I know the video is not the world's greatest in the world. I'm trying my best to do better. And with that being said, thank you for watching. And, also I have a Discord. It should be in the description. And with that being said, thank you for watching and have a good one.